Hello and welcome everyone. This is Blackadder at the RTS League channel. After quite some time, as we are gonna be entering into the first match of the new season and of the new league as well. It is of course gonna be Rest of the Rajas Clan League Season 1. So definitely curious how this is gonna be going for all of us and of course for the clans more than anything, as we are starting a new chapter and the clans are starting with us because after about 17 to 18 years, something like that, we are gonna be in for, well, something new. So let's see if that something new is already gonna be happening in this first match. It seems like we are gonna be having some Indians there from Selección Uruguay. That is gonna be one of the clans fighting in division number 2, and against them are rulers of Rome that are, well, basically a bit of a staple. You could probably know them. They are one of the oldest clans that have been established somewhere around 1996 already. So basically like even older than Age of Empires 2. So yeah, there we go. We're gonna be playing apparently on Arabia, it seems like, right? Yep, it's gonna be a good old Arabia. As I'm just now looking at the first player to have a bit of a meeting with him. As Kamigawa is gonna be one of them. He is hosting Rome. He's gonna be playing Indians. Then GoldenEnd is gonna be playing Malians, it seems like. Yeah, it should be Malians. RoR 505 is gonna be Magyar, and Pete Martel is gonna be Slav. A lot of expansion civilizations right there. Let's turn on the fog of war so that you potentially can maybe even notice if somebody is gonna be somewhere trying to steal. I just need to orientate myself a bit better. So that's purple, orange, that's still one team or not? Yes, that's still one team. So yellow. Okay, so orange and yellow, that's one team. That should basically right now moving all around. So GoldenEnd and RoR is him. Okay, so red, yep. Okay, so at the bottom, it's gonna be RoR is gonna be one of the flanks. You can see already a bit of a fight, as they apparently was a bit of an attempt to steal a bar from his opponent. So, well, Creeping Death definitely did have such an idea as an Indian there, as he was trying to attack his opponent, who is Magyar. So let's see who's gonna be better from this matchup, as of course on the flank. And we are having also two players in the middle, as we are in a 4v4, which is definitely possible in RTS League, even though the standard is usually 3v3. Or basically easier scheduling and everything, so that players can set up the matches a bit easier and everything. So Creeping Death is right now going to be finally giving up, as it doesn't seem like that this small battle would be really going all that well for him, as we are going to be looking also at the top side, where Pete Martel, as of course Slav, is going to be fighting on another flank against Ragnar Mars, who is going to be playing as Mongol. So yeah, you can see that Selección Uruguay is using much more standard civilizations for the AOC. Huns, Britons, Mongols and Indians is the only one from the expansions, whereas the opponents from RoR are using a whole lot more of them. So let's see what's gonna be happening in the match. Overall, the level, well, I'm not gonna be spoiling anything if rulers of Rome are gonna be claimed as basically favorites for this match, because they are seeded for basically as quite probable playoff participants, even though they are gonna be having quite strong fighters in there on spots number 4 and 5. You can also read a bit of a chat in there in Spanish if you are endowed by knowing that language, for example, as your mother tongue, for example. And we are going to be looking at basically boars being all around being taken. You can see it's going to be taken just the second one here. I'm going to be curious how the players are going to be approaching this, if it's going to be some kind of early aggression or not. Because to finish my presentation, the presentation of the clans, you mustn't forget that even though, oh, and just now I was going to say that this is going to be actually a match where RoR are supposed to be favorites, but he is going to be losing a villager right on the lure board at the very first 6 minutes. So that is kind of like he would actually want me to be speaking lies to all of you, but yeah, well, still shouldn't be that much of a problem. But it's gonna be all depending on what the opponents are gonna be thinking up against them, because let's not mistake SURU for some any kind of noobs. They absolutely not. They're quite a solid clan. They are about up to 1700, and they are having a very good player, especially Oro Carbon is their top player. He's about 18 to 1900. Right now, just cannot remember correctly when I was basically seeing the team. He was definitely standing out right there, and he is gonna be the one who is gonna be very important. And I'm expecting, especially since he is a Han, that they might be attempting to sling him. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all, because that's a strategy that is often used, trying to overcome some really significantly insurmountable odds, let's say, and we're trying to surprise somebody. So it could be working, but of course we are on the new expansion, so we don't really know what's gonna happen all that much here in RTS because we are not using any specific mods or trying to basically change the game from what it is. This is basically how you play it on random games. You are gonna be playing in RTS League as well. This is exactly the strength of our league and why we are working from basically since 2001 without all that much of a pause. There was a bit of a pause when the original web actually got down through very unfunny reasons, but we picked it up again after, and right now we are heading into a new part of everything. Okay, so you can see right now that the goal being forward is maybe gonna be a problem for Ori Carbone. Even though he is a pocket player, it has to be said that the flanks of them are really far away. It's kind of funny spawn when you look at it overall. And basically the pockets are right next to the wall. You can see he's walling against his ally. Okay, he probably doesn't trust him all that much. Well, it's definitely possible as feudal ages are trickling in. But to finish my thought, they are really far away and the flanks are really in the middle of the map. Both of them. Both Ragnar Mars on the left side and on the right side, that's keeping that. So that is definitely gonna be a danger. That if the flanks are not gonna be like having a good game, they're gonna be having quite a long time for receiving help. And also, if their pockets are gonna be under some kind of attack, then they're gonna be also quite far away to actually help them. So I don't exactly expect this is gonna be that easy game. You can see that the spawn for RoR is much easier in that way. They are really much closer to the flanks and the pockets. For some reason it really spawned this way, but I really expect this to be a danger for Selection Uruguay, as even though they are right now leading on the score, as the scout is looking around, trying to maybe see if there's gonna be some fun to be had. Well, you can see that usually those spawns with the forests are a bit of a problem and can be kind of tricky to wall. Usually this is where a mistake is being made, but so far we are looking, of course, at purple dropping a stable right there, and he's gonna be, of course, continuing as a Slav for some scout cavalry for a bit of raiding. Apparently, though, you can see that Ragnar Mars was well there. He's just finished with the wall in. You can see even this one hole in there is plugged, but yeah, there is no way through. I was just looking at this potential pocket, because can you imagine like dropping a tower right there? That would be well in range of like at least half of this wood range, and it would be really pretty problematic. But well, that's not gonna be something that, of course, Ragnar Mars is gonna have to worry about all that much, as he's really well walled, but he will probably be caught off guard a bit on this side. And still, purple and maybe a bit of friends extra are gonna be able to get through there, as we are gonna be looking a bit more to the south, where a lot of scouts are gonna be here coming as well. Yeah, that's pretty much kind of the meta. A lot of the civilizations and the new ones coming for the scout cavalry, and of course raiding the opponents and trying to basically slow down their boom, while they are gonna be booming themselves and hoping that they're gonna be better than the opponents. Okay, so it seems like that actually Grey, RoR 505 is gonna be quite fine for the time being, as you're gonna be checking a bit more to the top side, where we are seeing different colors in orange base, and it's of course gonna be teal Kamigawa having at least one of the scouts. It's probably gonna be the very starting one I would be expecting, and still being, of course, also assaulted by P. Martel, but very nice quick walling coming on by Ragnar Mars, so that was very well done. But oh, can he? Yeah, this is actually nicely done, because he realized that he's absolutely not gonna be able to protect all the villages, so he basically sacrificed this one, like literally sacrificed him. Already 2 villages dead in there, might be a bit of a problem, but unfortunately he will be forced into quick walling here as well. So yep, that is gonna be kind of hard time, as we are having a bit of a pause. Hopefully it's not gonna be anything major, and that will at least give us a bit of time to look maybe at the villager counts. Okay, so 28 at all, and RoR is at 30 with Magyars, alright. And for Selection Uruguay, 27, 27, 28 and 29. So basically you can see that the villager counts are still kinda solid, but considering that right now the Mongolian player lost 2 villages to the raiding, he should have been up at 29. It's almost actually as if SURU are slightly ahead in the villager production, ever so slightly ahead. Though, of course, at this point doesn't have to mean all that much, especially if he's gonna be losing even more villages, which is definitely a given. So unfortunately, Ragnar Mars is having his hands full, as he's having only a few pikemen, or the spearmen yet, and he's having a really hard time finding where he should be actually defending. So right now he lost another villager, probably gonna lose another. Oh no, right now villagers are gonna be angry, and with all the archers right now coming forward, it seems like that it's gonna be time for rulers of Rome to defend at least slightly a bit. You can see you're having blacksmith, that's gonna be probably for fletching for the archer quite soon, as Castle Village is coming for GoldenEnd and Kamigawa, of course both pockets. And pockets for the other team are advancing as well. So basically everybody doing pretty much the same, as there is gonna be a lot of fighting going on in the that's not purple, that's grey. In the grey base, of course, with kinda unequal armies quite a bit. And you can see this is actually well played by RoR. You'll see what he's doing. Well, he's basically trying to stay up the hill. And he doesn't want to basically go downwards to even fight any kind of favorable fights. He just wants all the advantage that he can get, even though by sheer numbers he just will be winning anyway and anywhere. He just basically wants to be efficient, and this was quite nice other play, as he's using even the villages to get rid of the pesky pikemen. As right now, well, it's definitely worth it, because he got rid of the problematic unit, which is basically meaning a full stop for creeping that, who won't be able to right now do anything at all. Well then, castle ages are hitting, of course. You're gonna be looking at maybe some differences in the score. I'm looking at Oroi Carbon playing really well. You can see 1500 points. And the best from RoR is basically 120 less, which is like 10% of all the points now. So, you could be thinking that Oroi Carbon is really playing well. And he's already preparing with the stables. It's gonna be another town center for him. And maybe that's a bit of a lack, it seems like. But that's kind of expected, to be honest, because we are having a lot of players and we are playing all across the world. You can see it's gonna be Italian, Netherlands, France, and then Uruguay, all across the ocean. Okay, there was a bit of a fight in the middle. Well, not much of a fight, rather a bit of a how to call it, ambush. That's what I was looking for on Pete Martell's scout, as the Wolfie is gonna be helping him a bit, but a bit too late. But I'm also kind of curious where the archers are from Orange. Because I don't exactly see them on the minimap, which means they're probably somewhere defending. Or... oh no, there they are. Yeah, they were just on top of the hill. Orange is kinda hard to see here. And here we go, that is gonna be, of course, an advance on the archer range as well. But it's, of course, a bit of a defense, because he realized what's going on. So he will need the defense with the skirmishes, which is a good idea. But he also doesn't want to stop raiding. He is quite efficient at that. He has killed another villager there, as you can see, from the orange player. So orange is having skeletons thrown like across his base, pretty much. And he is definitely not giving up, even with this one pikeman to be, maybe, still raiding around. But right now it doesn't seem... oh, wow, this guy was good. He took basically 3 down. And that basically means that a lot of those were half dead, and Pete Martell kinda underestimated that, and maybe, just maybe, Ragnar Mars just was paying enough attention and was basically singling out the units one by one, but he is still suffering quite significantly. You can see losing so many villages, dropping down to only 26 when everybody else is nearing 40. So you can kinda guess that this is not a good game for him. And you can see that on the left side, Kamigawa is gonna be finally helping his ally quite significantly, which means that he can just continue raiding, and that's pretty much it for him. In the meantime, there's gonna be a bit of raiding, as we are apparently gonna be saving then in the end, through some connection issues maybe, who knows, as castle ages are coming for RoR and keeping that also. So yeah, that's both flanks on the right side, whereas the flanks on the left, Martell with Ragnar Mars are still locked in battle, as he's coming even for a wheelbarrow. Haven't noticed if maybe Pete Martell did as well, but considering how he's right now dropping Ragnar Mars on villages, he's gonna be having very hard game, and he will probably need all kind of help that he can receive from Oroi Carbon, because Oroi Carbon is probably gonna be like having the fate of his whole team just on his shoulders, and hoping that he can actually somehow make it count and make it work for his team. Okay, I'm just gonna be right now quickly checking out if it is exactly as we expect. Yeah, everybody is out, so it should be safe. So we're probably gonna be just waiting. Yep, right now for the stream ended, so we are gonna be restoring. As there is also gonna be opportunity to have a look at the bottom. There's Sebastian 2002 is gonna be having some first engagement with Creeping Death on the opponent. This is actually a very nice double coming on, where it seems that RoR is gonna be so far just alone. Okay, let's just have a look at the achievements, and then we're gonna be quitting the game and waiting for the restore. That's gonna be Kamigawa so far leading in there, for good reason, to be honest. And Ragnar Mars, of course, he was raided so heavily, so Pete Martell definitely having a very good game on the flank against his opponent there. Otherwise, probably nothing all that much interesting there. Both pockets, or rather both pockets, all 4 pockets, both 4, playing really well, and most villages so far, Kamigawa and GoldenEnd in the pockets are doing a pretty good job with the booming. So they are establishing quite a nice game for themselves. Okay, so the restore is gonna be in just about a minute. Still should be having plenty of game ahead of us in the first one, and this should be the home map for Selección Uruguay. It's kind of interesting actually that it should be a home map for them. You would be expecting that maybe they could be choosing something different, as usually there's a really strong power in RTS League to be had once you are choosing and training something special. Right now there are plenty of new maps from the expansions, of course, in the season 1. Whereas Rulers of Rome, they are kinda known for being arena experts, but to be honest, with actually right now the setup and what players they are using, I kinda think that they are quite well prepared for any map to come, so I don't expect it necessarily is going to be arena again. Okay, so let's go back into the game, get rid of the music so that it doesn't bother us anymore. And here we are back. Let's turn on the Fog of War so that we see what exactly happens here, because that was the pretty nice double that we have been looking at a bit before by Sebastian and keeping that. It seems like it's gonna be a bit of a surprise for RoR, because RoR is having only one type, well, not really one type. He's having like one small army here. He's having a few more extra helpers for GoldenEnd by the Malian or horses and horsemen coming forward, but it's not really any kind of strong army yet. As you have seen, he's having 3 TCs already, so he's booming quite properly as he should be. Of course, in the pocket, very well prepared with the defenses so that he isn't raided all that much, but that is already a hole there. Can you see that yet? Those villagers were basically cutting down the trees too diligently, and they are right now open to abuse, and it seems like that Blue is exactly gonna be looking for that. He doesn't even need to go all the way in, but it's gonna be a very welcome choke point. Those spawns are usually very good choke points for any kind of crossbowman, so yep, this might be a bit of a problem for, of course, Grey, as he is also gonna be attacked somewhere else by the remainder of the crossbowmen, looking for a bit of a hill advantage in there, and of course supported by the scouts from the red player. Pete Martel advancing into Castle Age, that is another problem coming in for Ragnar Mars, who is apparently already under attack by him, with of course the friends from Kamikawa. So camels with skirmishes, that's a bit of a counter army to anything that his opponent could be producing, and he so far does have archers, but I'm gonna be switching into Ragnar because I think he's really kinda screwed in this game. Yeah, he certainly is. You can see he's absolutely no chance. He's gonna be coming into Castle Age. And since the opponents are already breaking through the impromptu walls make of the houses in there, he will definitely need all kinds of assistance that he can receive. Because right now the army is really strong, and Oroi Carbon, unfortunately, is not really ready for any kind of assistance like that. You can see he was going even for a monk, probably for a few relics somewhere there. And somewhere across the map, as at this point this is gonna be very problematic yet again for Orange, and it seems like this is gonna be the best venue how Rulers of Rome could be somehow trying to make a claim and push the claim on the map here. Seems that this is not going to be going well for Ragnar Mars, exactly as you'd be expecting. Well, camels are gonna be absolutely slaughtered, and then you can see even Ragnar already laughing about that, as he's being still kept at 27 villages, which is at this point pretty much half of the next, or rather of the best player in his team, and about a third already of the best in the opposing team. You can see Kamigawa and GoldenEnd, that's one hell of a boom. And even though there is pretty decent raiding attempted by Oroi Carbon, you can see plenty of knights, the defense is already present, and Oroi Carbon is just about like 20 villages below him, and that means that he just doesn't have all that much of a push as his opponent has. So yep, it doesn't mean that Oroi Carbon is gonna be having to give up anything at all. But right now with max disrespect coming forward from Pete Martel, as he's gonna be dropping a castle right into your face of the poor orange guy. But yeah, well, Pete Martel kinda deserves it because of how he has played and how he was able to actually punish his opponent for all the extra and little mistakes that he did, and of course with the help from Kamigawa and without any kind of assistance from Oro. Well, that's kinda exactly what would happen. So Castle is down, trying to destroy everything that is right now walking and moving in the bases. As Creeping Death is the only one who is attempting to help his teammate, whereas Riello, well, where is your assistance is definitely needed, as he's apparently not even interested in the relics, but rather in a few monks, as there is, oh well, bit of actually selling and buying on resources going on by Ragnar, as apparently SURU still want to be having a bit more of a game, because kinda why not? As I think that on the right side the game is not going that badly for them, but it has to be said that right now with Creeping Dead, who is going to be like spread like a thin layer of butter across a very large bread, slow slice of bread, is gonna be not able to really stand against the opponent, who is really ready with Magyar cavalry archers. That is of course something really strong, and with just camels, that's probably not gonna be working all that well for the red player, as at the top side, of course, the castle is a pretty big problem, not only because of its sheer strong presence, but much more importantly, because of course, this economy is gonna be completely stopped. You can see all those farms completely useless, and you can see that even boyars are gonna be making an appearance in this first game of Season 1. Okay, so those guys, they were saved there for quite a long time. It's time for them to die at this point. Time for them to die at full, as Ragnar Mars is gonna be given the GG, and it's probably gonna be resulted into the chain of GGs as well. Or is he just asking? He's just asking because Oroy Carbon is right now finally coming there and maybe trying to help him, but it has to be said that, of course, Ragnar Mars is completely reduced to ashes pretty much at 12 villages, which is like nothing. At this point, pretty much nothing. And of course, right now you can see Kamigawa and GoldenEnd, the pockets for RoR are already reaching 100 on the village account, which is of course 25 and 40 almost better than the pockets for the other teams, so you can kinda guess that this game is going just one way, as you can see exactly right now. GoldenEnd is gonna be putting a nail into the coffin right there with his heavy raiding into Sebastian 202. Well, 2002 rather, has one extra 0 in there, and he is doing a pretty good job against all of those crossbowmen. So of course it doesn't seem like that Blue would be all that ready for all of those knights. Yep, those knights are a problem, because of course the knights should be countered by all the camels from Creeping Death, from the Indian, but unfortunately with Grey being all over him, with all the cavalry archers, it's not really all that easy to even get there. You can see how big problems he's having with that, as Purple is right now even moving forward, as he considers Orange basically beaten, even though he's right now escaping with quite nice guard right next to him. It seems like the base is done, and Purple is gonna be dropping another castle right now into the face of Oroy Carbon, so that he actually has a taste of what his ally tasted just a bit before. Yeah, well, doesn't seem that he should be able to stop this, even though he's doing what he can. Right now, dropping a tower right there. So, could he be in time? That's gonna be a question. But with all the army that is present, especially from Kamigawa, wouldn't really expect that all that much. Seems like he's gonna be finishing in the end. But still, with all its army, it shouldn't be really stopping anything, even though pikemen are coming forward. Not in enough numbers. Okay, so right now you can see that Pete Martel is delaying his plan, at least for a bit, and this is gonna be maybe a conversion of few villages, maybe even of this boyar, if they do have enough. They do have enough faith, so they could be converting. I'm not sure why they aren't really. That's the correct English right there, as the camels are right now coming all the way forward, with Imperial Age coming for them, so they're gonna be getting even better. And of course, all the upgrades are coming forward with heavy camels, Blade Bard in armor, and of course, GGs are being discussed quite heavily, and they're gonna be right now called, as of course Rogier has joined with his teammate GoldenEnd, and that's a pretty heavy attack right into the heart of Sebastian's base. And of course, even though Keeping Death was having quite a nice game, to be honest, all around, he just wasn't able to help enough in the end, as he tried to help his teammate all across the map, even though it wasn't really his task to do it. To be honest, it was task of the pocket player, either this one or this one. He just was the only one who was able or capable to doing that, and just kind of stopped, of course, his attempts against the Grey player, and that led exactly to this result. So, well, GG, and we are in for 1-0. The first game of the new league is coming for Rulers of Rome. So let's check.